Meet the worst investor you have ever heard of. Every year she bought at the top. Every year she looked wrong. And every year she kept investing anyway. January 2018, she bought. SCHD dropped 5.56% that year. She bought right before COVID crashed the market. She bought right before the 2022 rate spike. Every single year, worst possible timing every time. You would assume she lost money. You would assume she regrets every decision. Now meet the second investor. He refuses to buy SCHD when it feels expensive. He tells himself he will wait for a correction. He tells himself the market is due for a pullback. He has been waiting for the right moment for 3 years. And then there's the third person. She never invested at all. She kept her money in a savings account paying 0.5%. We think we know how that story ends, but what about the first two? Is the worst possible timing really worse than waiting for the perfect moment? The answer completely changed how I think about investing. Same fund for all three. SCHD, Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. The most popular dividend ETF in the world for a reason. $10,000 starting investment. January 2017 to May 2026. 9 full years. Dividends reinvested every time. Every number from Portfolio Visualizer, link in description. Verify everything yourself. 3 investors, 3 completely different approaches, 1 clear answer. What everyone believes. Before the numbers, let me tell you what most investors actually believe. They believe timing matters. Not just a little. They believe timing matters enormously. They look at SCHD at an all-time high and they feel it in their gut. This is too expensive. I should wait. The market is going to pull back. I will buy then. This feeling has a name. It is called loss aversion, and it is the single most expensive psychological trap in investing. Because here is what actually happens when you wait for the perfect moment. The market does not care that you are waiting. While you wait, compounding continues without you. Time in the market keeps compounding. Time out of the market keeps costing you. But do not take my word for it. Let me show you the numbers. The worst timer. Let us call her Maria. Maria put $10,000 into SCHD in January 2017. Then every single year she added $1,200, $100 per month, always at the worst possible moment. She bought before corrections, she bought before COVID, she bought before the 2022 crash. Worst timing imaginable. Worst timing every year. 9 years. Here is what happened to Maria's money. $10,000 initial investment, $100 per month added, worst possible timing every year. After 9 years, Maria's portfolio is worth approximately $38,000, and she is collecting approximately $1,200 per year in growing dividend income every quarter without doing anything. Maria, the worst timer in the history of dividend investing, turned consistent bad decisions into a growing income machine. The perfect waiter. Let us call him David. David is disciplined. David is patient. David refuses to buy SCHD when it feels expensive. David spent 9 years waiting for a better entry. Every rally looked too expensive. Every crash looked too dangerous. So he waited. He told himself 2020 would bring a crash. It did, but it recovered in 5 months. He missed it. He waited for 2022. The crash finally came. He bought. Then SCHD recovered in 2 months and ran higher. David invested once, in 1 year, out of 9. His $10,000 sat in a savings account earning 0.5% for 8 of those 9 years. Here's what happened to David's money. The money he kept in savings, 8 years at 0.5%, grew from $10,000 to roughly $10,400. Meanwhile, Maria, the worst timer, had $38,000. David's discipline cost him $27,600. The investor 3, the person who never invested. We do not need to spend long here. $10,000 in a savings account for 9 years at 0.5% equals $10,408. Inflation over that same period averaged roughly 3% per year. In real purchasing power, that $10,000 lost value every single year. The money grew on paper, it shrank in reality. Why our brains get this wrong every time. Here is the uncomfortable truth about why David waited. He was not being irrational. His brain was doing exactly what it was designed to do. Humans feel the pain of losses approximately twice as intensely as the pleasure of equivalent gains. Behavioral economists call this loss aversion, and it creates a very specific trap for investors. When SCHD is at an all-time high, your brain screams, danger. When SCHD has just crashed 20%, your brain screams danger even louder. There is no moment where your brain says, this is the perfect time to invest. Because your brain is not built for long-term compounding. It is built for short-term survival. And that instinct, the one that kept your ancestors alive for 200,000 years, is the exact instinct that quietly destroys wealth over a lifetime of investing. Pattern interrupt. Maria did not win because she had better instincts than David. She won because she ignored her instincts entirely. She set up automatic contributions. She stopped checking every week. She let the system run. Maria didn't outperform because she had better instincts. She outperformed because she stopped relying on instincts altogether. Now, before you go and put everything into SCHD based on everything I just showed you, there is something genuinely important to understand about what you are actually buying. SCHD holds 100 companies. That sounds diversified. It is not as diversified as it sounds. SCHD screens heavily for cash flow, return on equity, and dividend growth history. That screen tends to concentrate in specific sectors: financials, industrials, consumer staples, healthcare. What it deliberately avoids, the highest yielding stocks, the ones most likely to cut. That is the quality screen working. That is why SCHD survived 2022. But here is the insight most SCHD holders miss. SCHD is a sector bet as much as it is a quality bet. That is why SCHD should usually be part of a portfolio, not the entire portfolio. In 2022, that bet paid off enormously. SCHD fell only 3.23%. The market fell 18.23%. In COVID, that same sector tilt cost SCHD more than the market, down 21.54% versus the market's 19.63%. Maria's worst timing strategy works over 9 full years, but it works because she stayed invested through both types of crash. If she had panicked and sold during COVID, down 21%, she would have locked in those losses and missed the 5-month recovery. The timing does not matter as much as everyone thinks. The selling does. Selling is the decision that permanently destroys wealth. Not buying at the wrong time, selling at the wrong time. 3 investors, 1 fund, 9 years. Maria, worst timing every year. Approximately $38,000, $1,200 per year in growing income. David, waited for perfect moment. Approximately $11,500 after 1 year invested. Missed 8 years of compounding. Person 3, never invested. $10,408 in savings. Lost real purchasing power every year. The difference between Maria and David is not intelligence. It is not research. It is not timing. It is the decision to start and the decision to keep going. The market rewards participation far more than precision. If you are sitting on cash right now, waiting for SCHD to feel less expensive, Maria's numbers are your answer. Start. Keep going. Do not stop. Next video, I expose the dividend ETF with the most prestigious reputation in the entire industry. Subscribe so you do not miss it.